All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending our council meeting of May 9th today at 1 p.m. I'm calling the meeting to order. I will first ask administration and or council if you have any added items. I have one added item I would like to add to new business, please. Item 7D with regards to Royal Canadian Circus, Olds and Region replace support for Fort McMurray disaster. 7D is in Dawn. 7E is an elephant then. No pun intended. All right. If there's no further additions to the agenda, I would please ask for a resolution to adopt as amended. Councillor Walsh.
Yeah, I move to adopt the agenda as amended.
No further questions? Those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. And now, page 3 of your agenda, please. Regular council meeting minutes, April 25th. Councillor, okay. Councillor.
Thank you, Worship. I move that we adopt the regular council meeting minutes from April 25th, 2016.
Does council have any questions with regards to the minutes? Seeing none, then I'll call for the vote. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Presentations and delegations. We have no presentations and delegations. Business arising out of the minutes. Councillor Harper.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. In reference to item 4C on the minutes, it's on page 5. The question was asked at the last meeting in reference to the carbon tax and the effect it could have on our day-to-day budget. And I'm just wondering if our CAO has actually received any information as of yet regarding the carbon tax and the effect on municipalities.
Through Your Worship, nothing as of yet, so we don't know whether municipal operations will be exempt or not, and we're still waiting. Hopefully there will be some discussion about that at the MGA review.
No further questions? Seeing none, then we'll move down to bylaws, page 10 of your agenda, please. And this will start with 2016-9 has been given first reading. This is road closure, and I'll start with Mr. McGinnis on this.
Thank you, Worship. This this bylaw came to council as 2601 and did receive first reading. When it was submitted to Alberta Transportation, they caught a mistake in the map before they sent it on to the minister. So we are starting this process all over with a whole new bylaw number and starting the process from scratch. So we're asking for first reading of bylaw 2016-9 and then we will submit it to Alberta Transportation once it's received first reading.
Okay, so this is administration housekeeping. So at this time then I'd ask if council could give this first reading. Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that bylaw 2016-09 be given first reading.
Any further questions? Councillor Harper.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. So it's my understanding that as a result, this development will actually still have legal access to Highway 27 now through this. Is this correct?
I'll ask Mr. Chant to answer that question.
Yeah, through the chair. They always were going to have legal access to Highway 27 with the new approach, just that the map was confusing when they hashed out all the front of it. So the map is being corrected to reflect what was negotiated with transportation and the owners.
And did I see another hand go up on this side? No further questions? All right, very good. We have a motion on the floor for first reading for bylaw 2016-09. I'll call for the vote then. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And secondly, I'd like to have Councillor Baerschel.
Thank you, Worship. I move the council motions for the bylaw to be resubmitted to Alberta Transportation for consideration.
And I'll just call for the vote. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. Now, page 15, please, of your agenda. Page 15 is in regard to the Sidewalk Cafe and Sales Bylaw 2016-05, and we did hold 2 public engagement sessions on April 28th in the afternoon and evening, where 16 members of the public as well as myself attended. And I will turn this over then to our development officer. Carrie?
Thank you, Your Worship. Good afternoon. Yes, a new sidewalk and cafe and sales bylaw 2016-05 is proposed in order to better monitor and consistently regulate requests to use the municipal road right-of-way, which includes sidewalks, boulevards, and parking areas for sidewalk cafes and/or sidewalk sales within the town of Olds. This item is also a follow-up implementation item initiative for the Uptown Olds Area Redevelopment Plan as well. And basically, the process will follow, it will be through a permitted process where an application will be submitted along with a site plan and other requirements that are pertinent to the application. So, as Mayor Dell stated, we did hold 2 public engagement sessions on April 28th. 16 members did attend, and we have a report attached in your agenda. As a result of this engagement, we are suggesting some amendments to the proposed bylaw. If you note in the agenda, actually in the definitions, we've actually increased the potential seating capacity for each of the 4 types of permits. Ultimately, it was decided that whatever space was available that would accommodate whatever seating would basically dictate how many seats would be allowed, so it wouldn't hurt to go higher, because we were informed that potentially one place may have as many as 24 seats available for their business. And then the other area that came to light was just having the development officer have a little bit of variance power with regards to some of the requirements, so long as they did not interfere with the public's use or enjoyment of the sidewalk or put the health and safety of the public at risk. So with that, unless there's any questions about the engagement report, we are recommending approval with the, I guess, as per amended in the draft bylaw.
Thank you very much. I can say that the session that I attended with the public engagement, they were very proactive and willing to work. Page 42, please. All right. Page 42 is item 5C on your agenda, and it is the land use bylaw amendment for bylaw 2016-07. We will begin with a public hearing, and I will, well, first of all, I have a pecuniary interest from my council. Section 172 of the Municipal Government Act says that you may not take part in a discussion and decision-making on any matter in which you have a pecuniary interest. The legislation attempts to ensure that you are not discriminated either for or against by virtue of your membership on council. You may disclose that you have an interest and its general nature, or you are to abstain from any discussion or matter from voting, or you are to leave the room until the matter has been dealt with, and you should make sure that your abstention is recorded in the minutes. And you're handing us something for this?
Some additional letters that came in last week.
After the deadline?
No, prior to the deadline, after council's packages could go out.
Okay, so we'll add those to your discussion, ladies and gentlemen. I hereby declare this public hearing for bylaw, land use bylaw 2016-07 open, and we are dealing not with an application. I'm just reminding you that this is a land use amendment for use, not an application. I would now ask the development officer to explain the purpose and effect of the proposed bylaw.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, bylaw 2016-07 is a site-specific amendment to 4710 50th Avenue. currently operating as the Texas Mickey Bar. It is in the central commercial area and also the Uptown Olds area redevelopment plan area. Basically, the application is proposing to offer as a permitted use the use of adult entertainment to the existing use of a drinking establishment in order to provide occasional exotic dance or entertainment. Under the current land use bylaw, the current definition of adult entertainment is any premises or part thereof wherein live performances, motion pictures, videotapes, video discs, slides, electronic or photographic reproductions, the main feature of which is nudity or partial nudity of any person, are performed or shown as a principal use or an accessory or similar use to some other business activity which is conducted on the premises. If the applicant is successful with this application today, she would then apply for a development permit for an application for a change of use to add adult entertainment to this property. We did circulate the application internally and to 26 area adjacent landowners as well. We received various letters of concern that are attached in your agenda, including, I do believe there's 3 that just got circulated by Chief Operating Officer Scott Chant. There's also letters of support in your agenda package as well. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. I will now explain the procedure and the rules to be followed for this public hearing. Presentations before council shall be brief and to the point, limited to 5 minutes. Council shall not allow cross-examination of persons giving information, and it will not be necessary for the persons giving information to verify his or her qualifications. Council may ask questions of the speakers after each presentation for clarification purposes. No debating or questions from the floor will be allowed. No written or verbal submissions will be received by council after the public hearing is closed. Persons that will be addressing council will state their name and address, indicate if they are speaking on their behalf for a client, company, or citizen group. I will now call for the first time those in support of the proposed bylaw. Please use the microphone. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Worship. Let me start off by saying thank you for giving me the opportunity to come forth again and present myself as Jen Casmant, the bar owner of the Texas Mickey Bar. I am coming today in hopes of being granted this proposal as a way of keeping my bar alive and not shutting my doors down for good. Texas Mickey Bar has been established since November 2005, which before that was Hay City Saloon since 1992. This place of establishment has brought people from all over Alberta, from south of Calgary to north of Red Deer, and it being a college bar, it's come from near and far all over across Canada. My bar has been established since 1992, before most of the uptown core shops even existed. During this time, it was not defeating any morals in this town by loud music and my blinking outdoor lights. My hours of operation are late nights when all the shops are closed up except for the liquor store down the street. In 2008, I came to you, which I'm sure most of you people are in the same committee. You denied my application, stating a big part was the morals of this town and the high school being right behind my bar. I understand the high school part, but this town used to have adult entertainment at the Yak, in which I don't believe it corrupted the morals of the town. Now the school is gone, and the reality is to the 21st century. And I ask you to find it in your hearts, with the economy that it is and the struggles amongst businesses, especially the bar industry, that adult entertainment should be allowed at the Texas Mickey Bar. For all the people against my ideas are mostly the elderly people who don't support my bar anyway. They have never stepped foot in my bar and don't care about bars. They are the people that are in bed before my bar even opens. but for the people who do support me, they've written letters and are here today to support my ideas for harmless, fun entertainment. Please understand, with the acknowledgement of prohibiting the town bylaw, I've already had male exotic dancers in my bar establishment for the past 10 years. And most of the older ladies loved the show and ranted about it and were always inquiring when the males were returning. Did that hurt the town morals or value of the town in the last 10 years? I also knew the Legion in the past few years had male exotic dancers as well. I want to reassure you that it's a young college town. You can't just cater to the elderly people. You must cater to the young generation that built this town by the college. This town thrives on the college, and without the college students, this town would not be the growing town it is today. My bar has represented a fun atmosphere and environment these college kids and local town residents feel safe coming to and continue to go to because it's the Tex Mickey Bar. Where there is a college, there must be a fun place for them to enjoy. Without this bar in this town, you will see in the following years to come the impact you will be faced with the mischief they will get into when other establishments can't hold the volume of the customers my bar can. This bar has a history to cater to the young students, but now I'm seeking a new entertainment in hopes to cater to all ages. Don't close out my idea of adult entertainment when this is my last resort and to make this bar survive in success. It will bring people from all over the areas to keep my bar, my business alive, not just mine, but all around. But you shut my idea down, then you shut a lot of people out of work. I hire a lot of college students as well as locals. I bring a lot of money to other businesses to buy supplies and promote my bar. I promise you I will not turn this bar into a strip joint as the uptown core perceives it. This is not my demeanor. This bar is known as a college bar, and I will never take that away. We will continue to cater to the karaoke lovers on Wednesdays and theme Thursdays for the college, but I'm trying to bring something new and something fun to the town to make my bar survive on weekends, as it is only a seasonal bar. People who enter the bar on these special nights will be well aware of the entertainment that is going on. I will have extra doormen on duty to protect the dancers, and there will be absolutely no touching. My dance floor is enclosed and will be monitored. I look at it as harmless fun, and entertainment has been around for decades. Nudity is beautiful, and if you don't have a mind to it, then avoid the bars on these special nights. All the businesses that I've dealt with have told me right to my face the town should focus on mischief and drugs, not harmless fun that is going on indoors, not outdoors of my establishment, where you must be 18 years old and ID is required to enter my establishment, and you clearly have the choice to avoid it or enter it. Remember, I'm a nightclub which opens at 9 p.m., not a daytime bar. I will also promise I won't advertise any outside my establishment with neon ladies waving and big signs stating strippers here. I will never demean the uptown core and draw that kind of pornography to the town. I was raised as a Catholic, and I understand moral value, too. I want adult entertainment once in a while, and that is it. I'm not turning the Texas Mickey Bar into a strip club. Never. I'm a single mom of a 3-year-old son. I'm doing everything to survive and not struggle. I was brought up and raised by parents who were bar owners as well. My mom tells me during the 70s of her time operating this bar, there was a major beer strike, and the zinc and copper mine shutting down was a huge impact in local jobs and businesses, and their only hope for survival as a bar owner was adult entertainment, and it brought people there from all over. The liquor laws are much different back then than it is today, but they are here to tell me they survived this bar for 23 years. Their main focus was not on adult entertainment, but live bands and good rapport to the town, the town locals. Adult entertainment did no harm at all to their town of Kimberley, BC, which is the size of Olds is today. My main focus will not be on adult entertainment either, just something brand new to this bar who knows it may never work, but it's worth a try. The Gaming and Liquor Commission states as long as I have the VLTs in my establishment, or I don't have the VLTs in my establishment, then adult entertainment should be allowed. I ask this one last time, please, adult entertainment in the Texas Mickey Bar as a new, fun, harmless entertainment to this town, as it's my last resort, is to shut my doors down for good. Without this last resort, I can't afford to remain open in operating orders as my lease rent has increased, the overhead bills keep piling up, and the economy is suffering, which makes my bar suffer for the size it is. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you. You got the name okay, Marcy? Good. Thank you very much for your submission. And I will ask for a second time, those in support. Well, I'm not going to deny the fact that they consensusly just unanimously put their hand up, other than the fact that they chose not to all come and speak at the same time. Would one of you like to come and speak? Okay, the podium's yours.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just wanted to say, take
Your name, please?
It's Bonnie Flanders, sorry.
That's okay for the record. And you're speaking on your behalf or
On
as a
behalf
consensus?
of consensus of the
Okay.
Texas Mickey Bar and Jen Cassavant. I just wanted you to consider that there is no other place to hold the amount of kids from the college, and what it would do to the town if there was no place for them to go, and where would they be? The other bars in town can't hold that amount of kids, and what it would cause on the streets of Olds, Alberta. And they love coming there and love everything about it. So I'd like you to consider that, please. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you very much. Okay, I see one more. Are you in support, sir?
I am.
Would you like to come to the podium, please?
I will.
So that was the citizens group, Marcy, on behalf of? And just state your name for the record, please.
My name is Gilbert Audette. I live here in Olds. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and on behalf of Jen Cassavant. Thank you, Your Worship, honored councillors. I've been a patron of both the Hayes City Saloon and the Texas Mickey for the past 13 years that I've lived here in town. I am also a gay male who on occasion enjoys dressing colorfully and flamboyantly. And I know of no other establishment in town where those of the LGBT community can go and enjoy themselves and feel safe in a harassment-free environment. I have friends who are transgendered, transitioning from male to female and from female to male. They have been to the Texas Mickey and have told me that they feel completely safe there, non-judged, accepted, and loved. Some of you, I know of one counselor who has heard me sing and knows that I love singing. And some of those here in support of Jen are also singers. Taking away the Texas Mickey Bar would be taking away not only a fun, safe environment for those of the LGBT community here in Olds and from abroad who come to the college, but also a chance for those of us who love music and love performing to give us a chance to do so however we please, whether that be as a male, as a female, in drag, or however. We have so many people here today who love this bar. I have friends who are also BMXers and bikers who would go to the Hayes City Slam, which was started by the Hayes City Saloon. So many people love this bar. Jen has accepted me unconditionally and has encouraged me to be strong and be true to myself. And I cannot think of any other place in a small town like this where I can feel free to be myself. I thank you, Your Worship. Honored councillors, I thank you for your time. And please give this proposal consideration. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for coming to the podium. All right, we're going to move on, please, and just a reminder, if you do have your cell phones on, maybe you might want to turn them off for the sake of everybody that is here today for this hearing. I would now call for the first time for those opposed. The first time for those opposed. Second time for those opposed. Thank you. Please come to the podium and state your name.
My name is Janie Olson. I'm of Olds, Alberta. I would just, I guess I would just ask the council to consider the location of this proposal, thinking that our downtown is somewhere we want to be proud of. And I understand the application or proposal afoot, and I understand that the economy is, you know, a tough place, but my understanding is that this would only potentially prolong the business for a very short time, and to make a change to the bylaw with hopes of that doesn't seem as a reasonable choice for changing that bylaw. I would just state that I would like to see it upheld.
Thank you. I will call for a second time then for those opposed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. My name is Brent Riley, and I live here in the town of Olds. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and my wife.
Thank you.
We would ask that the proposal be rejected. We had the privilege of raising 2 daughters within this community and are very proud of this community. And it's our feeling that this kind of activity begins to objectify women's bodies in a way that we simply don't want to see perpetuated in our community. It was our privilege, again, to be able to raise daughters within an environment where that did not occur, and we would like to see other families continue to have that privilege. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Now I will call for the first time for those persons deemed to be affected. Persons deemed affected. A second time? Hearing none or seeing none. Okay, please come to the podium and state your name.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Sorry.
You have to speak into the mic.
Oh. My name is Angie McLean, and I've never seen anything at the Texas Mickey bar that was inappropriate, and I am a mom, and they do attend school in Olds, but I lost them through domestic violence. And so one of my reasons for attending Jen's establishment is for therapy. I sing, and I never see anything inappropriate, like I said. And I don't believe that what she's asking is anything inappropriate, because like I've told you, there's never been anything in my experience where there's been any wrong behavior, and it's just kind of a happy place for a few friends, and like I said, it's therapy for me. I like to sing and play piano, and I lost that privilege when I was when I lost my home. I had a piano, and so I play piano for seniors' homes, and then I sing when I can, just so that I can have a little bit of enjoyment from everything that I've lost. And so I just wanted to come on behalf of Jen and support them, and the other ones that go. Like I said, there's a group of close-knit friends, and it's really just a night out once in a while. And my lawyer asked me, she said, do you ever do anything for fun? And because it seems like I've been going through quite a depression with losing my children and fighting in court, and it's just a nightmare for a mother. And I said, I do sing karaoke, and she's with the Supreme Court of Canada, and she just she said, that's good. That's good for you and good when you can get out and play piano and things like that. And so I just wanted to have a little say.
Thank you. I would take it then that you're in support.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I did see you come in late, so that was a good opportunity to fit you in there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
Very good. All right, and lastly, did I say second time already for deemed affected? Good, I did. Oh, one more? Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good
My
afternoon.
name is Lisa McIver, and I'm a resident of the town of Olds. And I'm a mother of young children. We have moved to this town from a larger city. We used to live in Calgary. One of the reasons that we moved to a small town is because we wanted to move to a place that was safe to raise children, a place for them to run on the streets, to be out and about, that kind of stuff. And I believe that allowing this amendment to pass would bring people to this town that are the exact reason that we left the places that we did. And I know that it's bringing people from north and south, far and wide kind of thing. And I believe that the people that be coming to enjoy adult entertainment aren't maybe the kind of people that we would want to have around our young children. And I know there are a lot of young children in this town. When we first moved here, we went out at Christmas time and I saw young kids walking around outside by themselves, and I was very encouraged to see that this was the kind of town it was. And I think that moving forward with that would bring, as I said again, the kind of people that might not really portray a safe thing for my children. I have 2 young daughters. I also think that it's causing women to be objectified, and I think that I don't want people doing that to my children, and that is not the kind of place that I would like to raise them. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to open the floor for council comments, and would give the opportunity to any of the council to speak at this time. Councilor Duryea.
Thank you, Worship. I have a question for the owner of the establishment in question. Do you serve food at that establishment?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay.
But just minimal of food on busy nights.
Further, Your Worship?
Absolutely. Please move forward your questions, and then we'll move around the table.
Thank you. Have you considered looking at the opportunity to make the Texas Mickey Bar a well-known, well-appreciated food establishment to help you in your plight?
I'm not really focused on the food because I don't have enough knowledge of a full kitchen. There's a lot of Greeks in this town, and they're the best cooks. So I can't. I'm a white person. I can't compete with that, right? So with having so many restaurants here, people don't. I used to do a buffet that I got from Sobeys all the time on Fridays, and it was a free buffet just to get people in. Nobody considers coming to my bar for eating purposes. I've even had, hockey games and stuff. A pub is a pub and a nightclub is a nightclub. So I could open up a full kitchen, but it wouldn't bring the people. That's what I believe.
Thank you. Are you done, Councilor Duryea? All right. Further questions? Councilor Harper?
Yes, Your Worship, this is still part of the public hearing, correct? So we're not really allowed to cross-examine the other witnesses, is
No.
that correct?
No, this is, that's procedures to be followed for presentations from the floor.
Okay, okay.
This is council's time. This is this is time for council comments or questions.
So I do, yeah, I just needed clarification on that.
Thank you.
So I do have some questions of our planning department, so that, could those questions be asked now? Okay.
This is the time that council asks questions for clarity.
Okay, first item for clarity to our planning department was an email that was sent as part of the packages, that actually the email was sent on May the 9th. I believe that was after the public hearing evidence should be closed, correct? So we should ignore that particular email that was sent to us.
It was sent today and
Yeah,
we just
so-
circulated during the public hearing. Are we not allowed to do that? Mr.
Okay.
McGinnis?
Okay, I thought they had to be submitted prior to the public hearing. Okay, good enough. The other question is, do we have currently on our books the allowable use in the central commercial district for adult entertainment? At any of the locations, i.e. at any of the other bars?
Thank you. Through the chair, no, adult entertainment is not a listed use in either permit or discretionary in the central commercial area, only in industrial, light industrial at this time.
Oh, okay. So, I guess that makes very curious. Is there a way that a land use amending bylaw can only be on a temporary basis? Or would that be dealt with under a development permit? This is points of clarification for me. Thank you.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Maybe Mr. McGinnis could address that.
Thank you very much, Mr. McInnes.
So this this amendment would be by way of bylaw, and that bylaw could be rescinded.
Continue, Councillor Harper, continue.
Okay, further clarification, then for rescinding bylaw, would the town of Wolves have to go through the same process, having a public hearing, having it advertised, all of that process?
Right. Section 606 of the MGA says that whatever process is used to enact a bylaw has to be used to rescind the bylaw.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Barishaw.
Thank you, Your Worship. While I support both, I appreciate both arguments on this side. I'm of the opinion that if you don't want to go, don't go. I'm confident I have a pretty good idea what Ms. Cassavant wants to do with their bar, and we've done it in our community. And I too am glad Councillor Harper, as usual, has the foresight to be thinking ahead for me. But she, as far as something that we could take a look at, because I think that some of the things, some of the concerns may be proven to be unfounded at the end of the day, and if they are, then we can take a look at it at a later date and perhaps rescind the bylaw. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Did I see you put your hand up? Okay. So what are you asking then? Are you directing administration? Okay. Okay, so yes, we are still in the public hearing. We're just, and I'm going to wait until my counselor comes back. She's here now, and I'll give her final option to speak. Would you like to speak, Councillor Bennett? No, thank you. Okay. No further questions or comments at this time. Then we will ask the development officer to make final comments, please.
No comments, Your Worship.
No further comments? All right, I will declare the public hearing closed. And we'll move forward with the bylaw. We are looking for second reading for bylaw 2016-07, please. Councillor Barishaw.
Okay, I have one question. So if we're to just go ahead with the bylaw, and if it was to pass, it could be, you wouldn't be anything in the motion as to a temporary, it would be a bylaw, and then the council would change it. Is that correct?
But it is specific to this. Mr. McGinnis, would you explain that, please, to council, specific to this this facility?
Correct. So it would be specific for this municipal address, and then the application would come forward. So the application would go to the development officer, or the development authority. That would be the development officer if there were no variances required, or it would be MPC if it is a discretionary use or variances are required. And the Development Authority can do one of three things with that application. They can approve the application, they can deny the application, or they can approve the application with conditions. So that's the process to actually have the application approved. If council wants to rescind this bylaw, then we would bring it forward and it would go for a first reading for rescinding, and we'd go through a public hearing as well.
Councillor Harper and then Councillor Baruchel.
I was just going to make a motion.
Go ahead. Councillor Baruchel.
Thank you, Worship. I move that second reading be given to bylaw 2016-07.
Thank you, Councillor Baruchel. Further questions or comments? Councillor Walsh.
You know, this is a very difficult bylaw to support, especially when the business is seemingly in trouble. This is not about a business, this is about a land use bylaw, and that's the difficulty I have with it. I know in the visions in the future, adult entertainment is allowed in this town, but not in this district, and that's the issue that we have to deal with. And this proprietor sounds like has a lot of support, but it's not about the proprietor, because she could sell that business and somebody else can come in, and once that bylaw is in place, that bylaw is in place, and it can be used to some benefit that this present proprietor would not even think of doing on a club like this. So that's the hard part in making this decision. So unfortunately I can't support it because going through a rescinding process is not a legitimate way to create a one-off. And then this is a one-off. This was what makes it difficult. You know, what happens when the Flames next door decides their bar, you know, then they make an application. So these are issues that we deal with the land use side of it. You know, I feel for the business side. I understand how hard it is to run a business and maintain it. And this proprietor is doing a really good job, but I just can't support this bylaw the way it is.
Any further comments? I do understand, in listening to the public hearing, that the proprietor also does want to work very hard in keeping a populace of the community able to meet in her establishment. She also noted that she is aware that it might not ever work and she's taking a chance. I also know that the public and the community, from my years of being a mayor, do dictate the success and use of an establishment. Yes, this does make it difficult because it's the process through our government that we have to take when we build bylaws that affect the town as a whole, and it's difficult. It's difficult for sure. However, speaking, I still believe that we have rights for society, and that I don't want to be the judge to have to say that I could deny somebody of their rights. We are a growing community, and I believe this community will dictate the success and use of this bar. Thank you. If there's no further comment, I will then call for second reading. Those in favor? Those opposed? That is carried. Third and final reading, please. Councillor Bennett?
Thank you, Worship. I move that a third reading be given to bylaw 2016-07.
Thank you. Those in favor of third and final reading? Those opposed? That is carried. Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. and we will move forward with our business. You're welcome to stay. We'll give the room, we'll take a 7-minute recess. That gives the room time to clear. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We're going to reconvene back from recess on page 69, please, in your agenda. A little bit of background to this is that we have done some final work with our council service plan. We've met. They've been edited by Kelly Eskelin, who has been working with us to assist us. And if you notice the squiggly line there on the back of your council service plan, that's not to be adhered to. It's the new one with the long page that you pull down on the next side. We got so excited, we've got a big long page now. So we are asking for support for this today so we can move forward with our budget quarterly work, etc. Councillor Duryea.
Thank you, Worship. I would move that the service plan for council for the remaining period of 2016 to 2017 be approved.
However, speaking, it is the council service plan 2013 to 2017, and I know we got confused last time. Should we stay consistent with that? I think we should. Okay, that's friendly. So the service plan, council service plan for 2013 to 17 be amended. That's good. Thank you. Any further questions? Those in favor? That's carried. And just a reminder, if you can please check your emails, because Kelly did send us an update on service council or service review plans, and you might need this for that. Unfinished business, that's that. Page 73, please. And this is item 7A, and this is regards to, again, Sawway, or Southern Alberta, what is it, Environment, Energy to Waste. That's correct. This is some administration and procedure that we need to follow, and we are recommending that council approve Stephen Prosy, who has been elected on our behalf, to let his name stand for a board of director. Go ahead, Councillor Harper. Or did you have a question? Sorry.
I was just going to make the motion if Councillor.
Oh, you had your hand up first, Councillor Barishaw. Go ahead.
That's okay. The council approved that Stephen Prosy put forward his name to serve on SAWA's board of directors as per Article 4 and 5 of the SAWA bylaw.
Thank you. The only question I do have is through Mr. McGinnis, I suppose, or if you could answer for me, please. We did have a conversation about this, as I am his alternate. Does Mr. Prosy, you feel confident and that he has the time allotted to this?
Yes, so he's had the discussion with his supervisor, Mr. Chant, and Mr. Chant has assured me that Stephen may not be able to make all of the meetings, but with an alternate, we can certainly make this work. He's just been nominated at this time, so he hasn't been elected to the board yet.
That's correct. And I will say that Stephen is doing an excellent job. He does provide us with the minutes to council meetings and does bring back anything that he wants to red flag to our CAO. So we do have the motion on the floor, and at this time I would call for the vote. Those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. You'll pass that on to Mr. Prosy. And page 86, please, item 7B, proclamation for Seniors Week. Who would like to put that on the floor? Okay, Councillor Duryea.
Thank you. As a senior, I would move.
We don't know that.
Oh, thank you. That June 6th to 12th, 2016 be proclaimed as Seniors Week in the town of Olds.
It's always a great time to sit and visit with I always call them the seekers and knowers, because they certainly do know everything. That's the first place I go to when I want to know something. Councillor Duryea.
Thank you. Just for clarification, is that pancake breakfast held at the Mount View Lodge?
Who? Mr. Wagstaff, do you know?
I am not certain, but I can find out, and I'll even see if we can let you know by the end of the meeting.
I could tell you from past years of attending that they typically have it at the Evergreen Center, and the pancakes are cooked in the rear, but we will confirm that for council. The pancakes are cooked in the rear of parking lots by Kiwanis and service organizations. And then the entertainment is on the stage in the Evergreen Center. So that is going to be where I'm going to say, but we'll confirm for you. Thank you. So we have a motion on the floor. Those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Councillor Bennett, would you like to put the next motion on the floor?
Thank you, Worship. I move that the new to you grant allocations for spring 2016 be approved for funds as follows. Do you want me to read? No?
Council have questions with regards to any of the organizations? I know that they've been put through FCSS, and the board has looked at them, and now they're to you. Councillor Duryea.
Just a quick comment. In appreciation for what the New to You organization does, I was very excited. I was very appreciative of the amount of money, $166,220, and how it was distributed. It's just amazing that out of that little store, so much money can be helped, can be given to the community for help.
Yes, it is amazing. And I frequent them probably twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday when my friend comes to town and she picks me up. And yes, you should, I would suggest that you go and check it out, because they are amazing. They've always got new things moving around. And go ahead, Doug, Mr. Wagstaff.
I do just want to clarify. I think your worship, you had commented that it was FCSS approval, and these were not. This was new to you, so it's.
That's correct. That's correct. So there's a motion on the floor. No further questions? Those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So that 7D is on the back. 211 phone service. This is the United Way. Did council want to speak to this before we put the resolution on the floor, in case the amount is not what you choose to be your alternate decision? Councillor Walsh.
Yeah, I reread this looking for reasons to support it, but I really, that's a fair chunk of money out of the FCSS budget, and I'm wondering if that's good bang for our bucks, because I'm not sure. I don't know, they're calculating it on 6% of the population that would use this. I think that's how I understood it. So I'm not sure this is a reasonable budget amount for the service that we receive here in this community. So I'm really questioning it to the point of not supporting it at this point, at that level. And I don't know if there's any alternative. It's either all in or all out.
Well, I could update you on one thing. I noticed in the package it does have some ideas of some of the municipalities, and I did have confirmation today at Municipal Area Partnerships this morning that Mount View County does support this. Did you pick up on any other municipalities, Mr. McGinnis, through your CAOs?
My understanding is that all will support it, but not necessarily all in this budget period. Some had not made provisions.
Mount View County to date and council's decision today. Councillor Harper?
Actually, Your Worship, I do have a question in reference to ensuring that the cost for uploading all of the service information from the town of Olds will be at the cost of the 211 or United Way, because I believe it will take considerable time for this to take place. And how will they be using, or how will they be accessing that information? That's my biggest concern.
So my understanding is once the database for Olds is developed by 211 with our assistance, it's 211's responsibility or United Way's responsibility to keep that information current. So they would do their survey for currency on an annual basis. We would be responsible for providing any new service providers in our community. And if I could, Your Worship, just to Councillor Walsh's dilemma he's having, one of the rationales that you may want to consider is we are moving away from the printed version of our community directory because the printing costs have become significantly more than the $5,700. So part of our strategy is to just provide our community directory online and supplemented by the services of 211. So that may be part of the rationale. The other is we've had some difficulty, through our social development work to date. We've had some difficulty coordinating the efforts of service providers in our community. The hope is that 211 will help to sort of bring these groups together and have a better understanding of services that are overlapping and maybe where we can find some efficiencies.
Councillor Walsh and then Councillor Duryea. Did you have your hand up, Councillor Harper?
That raises the question of the FCSS budget, which is my dilemma basically, is taking it from FCSS, which directly goes to support in our community. I'm not even sure how this qualifies for FCSS under their act, but so going forward, does that mean it would be a budgeted town expense, or would it always be coming in an FCSS budget?
Before we move on to other councillors, will Mr. Wagstaff go ahead?
So it's preventative, and a portion of our the community directory is also supported by FCSS. Currently, the entire part isn't, but a portion of it is, a significant portion of it is from SCF, attributed to FCSS funding. And yes, it, as I said before, it falls under the preventative piece, so it is funded. And we do have room. We have not allocated all of our FCSS allocations for this year, so that does fall into our FCSS allotment.
Councillor Duryea and then Councillor Harper.
Thank you, Worship. My question has been answered.
Councillor Harper?
Your Worship, I'm prepared to make a motion and also speak in favor of the motion. So I'll put forward a motion right now.
Thank you.
The council approves $5,715 allocated from the FCSS budget to the Central Alberta United Way for 211 phone service as the Town of Olds municipal contribution for 2016. And in speaking in favor of the motion, I note that the 211 service is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that our citizens would be able to phone and ask for assistance in finding answers or availability of everything from when the food bank hours are to crisis lines to everything else. So I think it could be a very useful service, and it would all be dependent on the fact that all of the information is provided to them for all the service providers in our community. And I think that after the first year that we should be able to take a look and see how well that service is being used.
Thank you, and I certainly did, we've had an opportunity twice to hear this to council, one at PNP, and they did an extensive review with that. I also agree that 1 year, try it and see how we like it. We have a motion on the floor. Any further questions? I'd ask those in favor. That's carried, thank you. All right, now the added item, item 7E. This has been quick at the draw. As you, I was away last week and received a call when I was at a conference, and it was an urgent call. And I will just, if you just bear with me for 2 seconds here. The call was from the Royal Canadian Circus, and the Royal Canadian Circus contacted me with the question if the town of Olds or region would be interested at all because of the dire circumstances in Fort McMurray they were seeking an alternate location for their circus. And when I sent this out to the key stakeholders, received a response basically immediately from Olds Regional Exhibition stating that they would take it on. And I have to tell you though, the site specifics were reviewed, and Ms. Gardner got back and stated that they weren't big enough because, as you can see, the tent holds 2,000 people, and the next person that jumped in was the Olds College. And so as of today, I understand that the Mountain View County has agreed to with the permit, and so they will be working to try and get this done. And I am just absolutely amazed with this community and region. Within this has been done in 4 business days. And thank you to this region to be able to step in an emergency situation and take a booking from Fort McMurray to continue a circus that will be able to bring hopefully some joy to some of the people in the region and people fleeing to Calgary and Edmonton from Fort McMurray. I'm not sure of the exact details, but I can tell you that the Royal Canadian Circus, I do intend to have a press release and or information, perhaps working through our own Town of Olds and contacting. They are amazing the way they work, so I can't even begin to tell you how that's going to look. Or I'm sure you all the media resources have been contacted to date, but it'll be hot and heavy out flying. The Lions Club's even stepped in to date to help with services that they need on site. There's other organizations that have stepped up. They're asking that if we want to help out in any way, they are donating. What did it say here? They're donating their first show to Fort McMurray, the proceeds. And I'm sure there's lots more coming. Is there, Mr. McGinnis? Because you're on the receiving end as well.
Yes, it's all fast and furious. The latest is I do know that they are working with Andrew and Monica. They were looking for big billboards the last time we had a conversation, but look for the big top starting on Thursday south of the CLC where the World Plow Championships were a few years ago.
Dates will be May 13th, May 14th, and May 15th. I'm sure I can share some of this information with the media after. Just wanted to let everybody know the media release is coming, and it should be out. I thought it would be out this afternoon or by the end of the day. All the players had to confirm, dot their I's and cross their T's, but we're going to make this work and help our municipal Fort McMurray. And in awe, these people speaking to us said they had no idea that Olds could even ever facilitate this, and that's why they do their circuit as they do to the larger centers. So congratulations, Olds and District and Olds College and organizations for the Town of Olds. And that's that. So we can, if there's no further questions right now, we'll move down then to the reports from council. If anybody wishes to report anything today or wait until next council meeting, I know I have to still type up a report myself. I do have, I was at Municipal Area Partnerships this morning though, so I can briefly share with you. So the conclusion of how we're going to deal with our councils is, and I will speak to administration, Mr. McGinnis. I was thinking the format would be a standing item, and probably we would look at our P&P meetings, because the structure of MAP is that we bring back MAP agenda items every meeting we have now. We prepare our next MAP agenda with items, and the process we were hoping would work with all councils, all 6 of our municipalities, is that would give the opportunity to include all of our council members, i.e. you around the table, to an awareness of what is going to come. So it gives you the opportunity to provide me as your committee rep questions to bring to the table. So we have to finalize what agenda we're going to put that on, but P&P might be, policies and priorities might be the best agenda.
Yes, so that would mean that the administrative piece, so Sundry is the administrative lead at present. So we met today. We'd have to get that agenda by Thursday at the latest in order to have it in the P&P agenda. So logistics around that, but I'll suggest to Patty that she try and get that.
But not necessarily, because all our job is that I understand as a Municipal Area Partnership Committee member representing council is that we're to bring the agenda items back so they are aware of the discussions that are going to be, not necessarily that we have to have the agenda. And it's good for council because we meet in the morning and then we meet at 1 o'clock here. And that gives us the opportunity to have it for council for their awareness on the P&P agenda for the next week. It doesn't mean the full agenda items there, it's just the discussions that we're going to have. And it seems to be, I really think it'll help a lot in including council. So the terms of reference, of course, we approved today with the inclusion and amendments of which council asked of the having the one all councils meeting. It has been amended, approved. You'll see that it's coming back for final consensus from all council to the next council meeting. The June 9th meeting will still go at the Mountain View County office at 6 p.m. It'll be a dinner and networking with presentations from municipalities, and Reeve Beattie and Mayor Terry Leslie will be building that agenda, to which you will receive a copy of prior to June 9th, so you see what's happening. It will include a light dinner, which is good for us because many of us will be attending the Municipal Government Act review in Cochrane, so we'll be leaving Cochrane and going directly to the Mountain View County office for the all councils, Mountain View County all councils. And yeah, I'm going to leave that. Some of the, I will just note what the regional topics for discussion that were brought forward from the Mountain View County were, and this is one of the items that we'll have to discuss in the future, so that if you have anything you want to add, you can. So dual credit program, this was brought forward from Jeremy from CLC. So we are going to invite Dr. Barb Mulholland, is she the Mulholland? And she will be coming to do a presentation at our next Municipal Area Partnerships. We felt that might be an area that we can work regionally. Another area will be visitor information centers that we could possibly work in the future regionally with. Mountain View County has a total of $25,000, which is $5,000 max to any municipality that you can receive to work with visitor information centers. Access to provincial grants, of course, that's something we've always had on the plate for regional to work with MAP, as well as the new Municipal Government Act review. We would like to look at it as a lens regionally and for planning when those details come out, so that we all take the same message when we're out and about at our delegations, at conferences, etc. So we're looking at how to build that. As well, delegations from conferences to come speak. We felt that would be a good item to leave on regionally on our agenda as well. A lot of you and a lot of us attend different events, and we, for example, Councillor Walsh was at Economic Development. He heard a lot of great speakers. Perhaps you want to take one of those speakers and bring it back and say this isn't something we all need to hear. We're trying to figure out what that looks like, but we would like to utilize the delegate speakers that we hear at conventions and conferences or workshops that we go to, so that we can, again, share that information. Perhaps have them come and speak to us as a whole when we meet. So more information will be coming on that. So that's all I have to say. I'll be quiet now. And if there's nothing else that anybody would like to report today, then we can move forward. Good. No quarterly finance report, no accounts payable. Correspondence, page 99 in your agenda, please. And who would like to put that motion on the floor? Okay, Councillor Bennett?
Thank you, Worship. I move that correspondence and information report ending May 9th, 2016 be received for information.
And does council have any questions in this regard? Councillor Harper?
Thank you, Your Worship. In reference to the letter from Alberta Municipal Affairs, will administration and the mayor be looking at any of the various award categories for municipal awards of excellence where we may qualify for an award, i.e. partnership award would be one?
Yes, the deadline is May 31st, and I did only have 3 or 4 words with Mr. McGinnis as we've had a really busy week preparing the agenda. We didn't fully discuss this, but I know that, were you going to check with Olds Institute, with anybody there to see if we were going to move forward with anything they might recommend as well?
Haven't considered it, but certainly I can have that discussion with Mitch and with Cody, the chairman of the board. We may want to consider our master agreement with Mountain View County as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Mountain View County may want to move forward a couple of the other master agreements before they submit.
Okay, I'll just leave that up to you perhaps to speak with Mr. Martins. Councillor Walsh?
There's a potential for the South Red Deer Regional Wastewater Commission as a partnership for all the municipalities along that. Was to a reception Friday with Stantec. They've already got 4 awards for that line, so no reason for the municipalities to take some opportunity to submit that.
That's great. I think Mr. McGinnis could speak to his team, see if you can come up with some ideas, and council, you too, if you leave the table today and something pops in your mind, send it to our Mr. McGinnis, and we can move on from there. Very good. We have a motion on the floor then from Councillor Bennett. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Now, before we move into in camera, we have one land item. We will take a recess, and that way our media can speak to whomever they like. Thank you.
Olds Community TV, your go-to channel for news and information in Olds, Alberta.